Hi, so I'm here with Jackie and we're just about to do a medical intuitive reading. So we have created a protective perimeter to work in. Jackie has given me her name and her date of birth. We've also set the intention that the highest and best healing take place today for everyone involved. So let's get straight into it. I will begin by just getting you to take some nice deep breaths in. Just some nice, really comfortable breaths. Hold as long as you can, and then exhale. On the exhale, just release any stress or tension. Again, just take another deep breath in. And on the exhale, just let out a ah. Okay, so there's actually a lot coming in for you at the moment, at this time. One of the first images that comes in, it's kind of like you are avoiding something. It's like you get right into something and then you go out of it, and you'll get into it and you'll come out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. How does that make sense for you?
I tend to get waylaid when I start doing anything. Stressful stuff comes up pretty much every time. It's actually, I'm booked to do my Reiki too about a week from now. And we've had a stressful situation pop up out of nowhere again. But fortunately, I didn't cancel this time because I'm like, no. I'm not going to be.
Yeah, and as you're talking, like I'm picking that up in your heart area. It's almost like your body is going into safety overdrive.
Yeah.
And so the image that I see, it's like, oh my God, I want that so much. But no, wait a minute, that's going to expose me. Oh yeah, I'm in. This feels really exciting. Oh no, but there's a stressful situation that's happened. And so this is how you're kind of moving through life. So we will look more into that, because that's definitely something that's happening unconsciously for you on some levels. It feels like there's a lot of you're protecting yourself. There's a lot that you know. You're very powerful, and I mean, your soul's like, hell yes, let's get out there, let's do this. And your protective personality, your ego is like, oh no. I've signed up for this before and it just didn't work out for me. So let's kind of stay in the shadows a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see.
Yeah, so that was the first image that's come in for you. That's very prominent in your energy field, and that's coming up to be healed today. So that's always super exciting. We can dig into that a little bit deeper. There's also like this, the image of being like pulled from side to side very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Power struggle with my ex-husband generally.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's been going on for a good 20 years. So it's
interesting. So we're going to look at that. Funny thing is, in the end, you'll see that it's all kind of related in one way or another.
Yeah. And the heart chakra stuff has come up just recently too. It's come up with
as you're talking, that was where I was going to next. It's just here on the left side, more on the left side, it's just this burning. It's like this aching pain. When I connect to the energy of that, there's a lot of sadness there, a lot of heaviness. What else comes in is there's a lot of resentment around particular. Resentment is just like saying, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want to be healed. So you want to go forward. There's a part of you that really wants to go forward, but you have these concrete blocks of cement on your feet.
Yeah.
And that's all. I mean, it's obviously not. What's that?
That's how it feels.
Yeah. And that's happening obviously energetically. I mean, you're not walking around with cement on you, but energy is real. And so the only difference that you can't see it or can see it, like we can see our physical body because of the density of the energy. But you have these metal, why do I keep saying metal? Cement blocks on your feet. So this is what's keeping you restricted. This is what's holding you back. Just this heaviness, there's just like such a heaviness for you about moving forward. And I think I keep saying metal because there was a past life where you were chained up in metal.
Ah, okay.
That's why the metal keeps saying metal, metal. So we are going to look at all those situations. Wait, now I'm talking German. We're going to look at everything, why that's coming up for you. So just let me check in a little bit more. I want to have a look at your aura and your energy field. It's really interesting. In your aura, there's vibrant colors in there, but it's very sporadic. There's unfortunately like a lot of gray. It's quite kind of muted around there. But this is going to have to do with what's going on in your heart chakra, the situation with your ex-husband, the feeling of not being able to move forward. You're not integrating as much as your higher self as you possibly could. And when you start to kind of integrate that more, that's going to really help with your aura and your energy field to kind of lighten that up, and allow these more vibrant colors to kind of show up. There's a lot of, you have a lot of tension and stress in your shoulders, especially here on the, which side am I on? Left side. Just here, all at the back. It's
yeah.
You're feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. So with these concrete shoes that you're wearing, with the weight of the world on your shoulders, I can imagine it's not that easy for you at the moment to kind of get where you want to be and do what you want to do.
Absolutely, because physically I can't either. I've been so unwell that, I've spent probably about the last 18 months almost in bed. So it's been a lot. So we had, it was about 3 years of really intense stress that we had. We had my ex-husband being himself. We had, my father was very unwell with kidney failure, and we had my partner's mother as well with Alzheimer's. So we had other things going on in there as well, kids being bullied at school and things like that. So it really tanked my health quite badly, but my health wasn't good before that anyway. So, but I've got a lot of autoimmune issues and whatnot. So, I
missed that last bit. You have a lot of
autoimmune issues.
Autoimmune. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I was on an upward trajectory until we had all of that stress coming in over a 3-year period. It sort of ended around the end of 2018. Things calmed down a bit, but I just kept working and burnt myself out from what was left. So, I finished up work, would have been just before COVID, actually. It was December, just before COVID exploded all over the world. And I've been pretty much on bed rest since. Been better this year. I'm starting to get a little bit more energy, but it is what it is. But that physical heaviness, that's something I've been trying to release by myself and not having much luck.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I also work on myself a lot, but we have a lot of blind spots that we don't want to see, and we're not ready to see. And so I still go to healers like every second week. I mean, I'm all about healing your own body, but it's like giving birth. It's much nicer when somebody's there, like a midwife. So let's release some of that heaviness around you as well, and from the aura and the energy field. And that's going to be a really good start for you. The autoimmune is always when you're having like this conflict with yourself.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I picked up. This is this yes, no, this is who I am, don't want to go there. This is who I should be, not a good idea. And so they say it's the body fighting against itself. The body's so amazing. It doesn't fight against itself, but the body communicates with us. So it's what it's communicating to you is you're fighting against yourself. And that's why it's picked up as the body fighting against itself. So apart from the autoimmune, was there anything else that came into it?
My doctor reckons everything that's wrong with me is autoimmune, whether it's classified as being so or not, so far.
Okay.
So I've got Hashimoto's, vitiligo, celiac disease. What else have I got? Polycystic ovary disorder, endometriosis, fibroids. I think that's it for what's actually been diagnosed. I've got pyroles as well, and the new doctor reckons I've probably got the MTHFR gene as well, so which is to do with detoxification and that sort of thing. So
so what's coming in, number one is there's a lot of acid in your body, a lot of acid buildup. Has a lot to do with the food that you eat. Not only that, it's what's in your unconscious. So if you're having like stress the entire day, if you're having negative thoughts the entire day, and stress brings negative thoughts, it makes situations look a lot more crappier than they really are. That's just like filling your body with so much acid. And the first and foremost job of our human body is to stay in alkalinity, to keep it alkaline. So if it has to be in fight or flight all day, and then try and keep it alkaline, there's just no resources left over to heal you. The body is designed to heal itself. So I always say it's like you were driving on the freeway at 220, there was no air in the tires. One of the tires is like completely coming off. There's like smoke coming out the filter, smoke coming out the back. The windows are wind down. One of the doors flying off, and you're just like, we'll just keep going. It's all right. We'll get there. There's no oil in the car, and you're just driving full throttle. And I think you're laughing because you know that's true.
I'm laughing because my doctor said a few years ago, the doctor that I was seeing, she said, putting premium in the tank, but your engine isn't turning over, Jack. It's not turning over. Like there's no point putting all that premium fuel in your tank if you can't even turn over the engine.
Yeah.
So
this is the image that's coming in. And so now your car, I mean your physical body, it's in the mechanics, and they're like, oh, okay, you didn't put any oil in it, so you totally stuffed the tank up, and we have to replace the muffler, and new tires. So this is yet now the process. What's that?
It's a write-off.
It's a write-off. No. You're not tapping out of this one.
Sorry, it's a classic. You'll have to fix it.
It's a classic. Have you ever seen a restored old car? Beautiful. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying you're old, by the way. So let's see where we're going to start with you today, just in regards to what's being called on. If you just give me a minute.
Yep.
Okay, so the first thing that's coming in for you is we will be doing a soul retrieval from a past life. In this past life, you're a man, and this is why the metal was kept slipping out of my mouth. And it's showing me that you are in it's like almost like a dungeon, and you're in shackles. You have shackles here around your hands and around your feet. It's very damp in there. It stinks. It almost looks like you're pretty much starving to death. so I'd be interested to know what your relationship around food, if you have like.
I'm allergic to everything.
Okay.
I'm allergic to everything. No gluten, no dairy, no eggs. I've got histamine issues, gut health issues, just out the wazoo pretty much. So, which is very annoying.
What about when it comes to like plant-based foods?
Well, the histamine thing is an issue with some of the plant-based foods. I'm not good with legumes. I'm not good with grains. I'm not good with nightshades. But yeah, apart from that, I'm great. It's a very limited diet at the moment.
Okay, that's good. Let's start with this. Let's start with this past life. When did the allergies start? Did they start like one after the other? Or was it just like kind of in 1 year, it was just like that, like I can't eat that, I can't eat this I can't eat as well?
It started when I was pregnant with my son. So from reacting badly and realizing I was reacting badly. I think the gluten's been a problem the whole time. Just looking back, even childhood, I don't think it's ever agreed with me. But the other stuff has just come in incrementally over the years. It's all of a sudden, okay, now I'm not tolerating dairy, was breaking out in hives.
It's not such a bad thing.
No, probably not such a bad thing, but try to eat out. Oh my God, it's a nightmare because I'm really, really reactive. I mean, I can't even have a wine that's been fined with milk products. I react that
This is
strongly.
the acid in your body. Your body's just saying, I can't take it anymore. And that's why it's reacting with that. And I know that you're like, oh my God, but cheese tastes so good. And what about chocolate? And it feels like all these things are being taken off you. But what you realize is when you start to kind of change the way that you eat and start to like really nourish yourself with alkaline-based foods, so a lot of plant-based foods, a lot of greens, you will start to feel a way that you won't be prepared to give up. And people would say to you, do you want chocolate? And you'd be saying, it tastes good, it looks good, but I feel so good, I'm not prepared to give up how good I feel. And this is where your body's trying to get you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I don't touch dairy with a 10-foot barge pole because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
And I have to be so careful, even like if I go and have a coffee at a coffee shop and I have it with plant-based milk, I have to make sure that they haven't used like oat milk or something in the jug first. I need to ask them to clean the jug before they put anything into it, because otherwise, yeah, I'll be down and out for like 3 weeks. So it's just not worth it to me. But yeah,
coffee's also, and I know that you don't want to hear this because I know I had to go through this myself. It's also when you have too much acid in the body, it's something that you kind of have to leave out, because it's like it sets the adrenals in total overdrive, and your body's working so much harder than it needs to. Your body needs rest at the moment.
Yeah, I only have one a week.
Okay.
On a morning. I'm not a coffee addict who's downing a few a day. Yeah. So I have one Sunday morning. My partner and I, we go to the farmers markets, we get our groceries, and then we have a coffee afterwards. Yeah. Because no, I can't do more than that. My body doesn't like it. So yeah, it's another one of the things I had to give up. So, but yeah, it is what it is. But I eat a pretty clean diet, but it is fairly meat heavy because I feel just terrible when I don't have meat. And I've seen a couple of different practitioners, and one of them was a vegan and another was, say, a vegetarian, and both of them are gone. I never tell anybody this, but what you need is a big fat steak. I'm like, so.
Everybody needs something different, really. Some people do really well on raw vegan, others do terrible. Some people do really well with an Ayurveda diet, others it's too much warm food for them. There's people who don't actually want to eat meat and they need to eat meat, and they eat meat, but always make sure it's good quality, obviously. You have
Yeah.
to stay focused because there's so much going on with you here that we're going to end up talking about everything and not healing anything. So I want to follow this
Yeah.
past life and see where it's bringing us, because obviously if you've been left in this dungeon to sorry, I know this doesn't sound nice and it's not easy to hear, if you've been left there to rot,
Yeah.
this has been really heavily carried over into your life.
Yeah, that's actually very similar to another past life that I went back to. It was November 2019. I went and did a past life regression because a few psychics have said to myself and to my mother that I decided halfway here for this life that I didn't want to come anymore, but it was too late for me to turn back. And that's where a lot of the issues are stemming from. And I went to this past life regression person to find out whether it was a past life thing that made me not want to come to this life, or whether it was things in this particular lifetime that I didn't want to come to. But we went back to this past life that was the cause of me not wanting to come this time. And it sounds very similar, very similar. But I was working in like paddy fields and had wounds on my legs and died from the wounds on my legs. And I passed away and nobody even noticed I was dead. So it was, and I was married to the same person in that lifetime as I was. So.
And what was the relationship like with this person in the past life?
Pretty neglectful by the sounds of it. So I was the man again in that one, and he was the woman. But there wasn't any connection there.
There is a connection, and I'm just getting goosebumps. The connection is neglect.
Yeah.
You've always been neglected in the past lives. And in this life, you decided, I'm going to have everything wrong with me, so everybody needs to take care of me.
Interesting. Very interesting, because he certainly didn't.
He neglected you again?
It took me almost dying in childbirth for me to realize he was never going to get his shit together. And so that experience, I broke up with him when our youngest was 2 months old, because I was like, he's just never going to, if I can almost die, and came home and I couldn't even get to the bed because the house was that much of a mess and I was meant to be on bed rest. I was like, no, can't do this.
This is really interesting, because in this past life where you did the past life regression, it's like you died and he didn't even notice.
Yeah.
And exactly the same thing happened. You almost died and he didn't even notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's how did that make you feel as a person? Like, what kind of thoughts came into your mind?
He's just he lost it at the time. And I can remember him following the ambulance, like following me out to the ambulance, because I had a home birth with my son and had postpartum hemorrhage afterwards. And the midwife hadn't brought the drugs to stop the bleeding. She'd left them in a fridge at home. And I can remember him promising me the absolute earth. And then he was just gone afterwards. Just he'd shut himself off again. And I don't know. It's very hard to articulate just how messed up that relationship was without bagging him out terribly. Because I mean, I know he has got a lot of issues himself from this life and past life ones too, from things that I've heard.
Sorry, just as you're talking, I'm going to start to kind of clear around the energy field from you. I just want to kind of start to remove some of that heaviness. I know when we're in our 3D minds. And I know that you say that he had his issues, but often we draw particular situations into our life because something needs to be healed.
Yeah.
And so for you, that's this, we're going to go into this, this energy of neglect. And we want to start to remove that out of your energy field. And also what your guides are saying is one of your lessons is to, because here the pain is about nurturing, and it's about nurturing yourself. And it's the left breast, so it's a female or female characteristics. And so it's about you nurturing yourself the way you want people to nurture you.
Yeah.
Because you've been working hard in the fields to earn money, to survive. You've been locked up here in this past life. Again, you've been neglected. And then this life is all about for you, nurturing yourself to the level that you want people to nurture you. And that's going to be reflected to you in the relationships. Look, when you start taking care of your health, when you're like, no, don't use that coffee, Beisha. I mean, that's something you never would have said to anybody, but this is like a life or death situation for you. So it's you like speaking your truth, setting your boundaries. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. This is what my body can tolerate. This is what my body can't tolerate. And this is all the things that you've learned. So I know that sickness, sickness and illness can be super uncomfortable. But I know for a lot of people, when they kind of lean into that and they take the lessons around that, they will say the sickness I would be happy not to have had, but everything that I've learned about myself, about why I had it, about what I changed in my life, I never want to give that up.
Yeah. I'd absolutely agree with that. Definitely. It makes you appreciate everything so much more.
Yeah.
Just small things like being able to go for a decent length walk. It's something everybody takes for granted. Well, most people do anyway, not everybody, obviously. But just being able to go out and go for a decent walk or a hike, that sort of thing. Okay. So
I'll get you to just to kind of close your eyes. And I want you to send yourself back energetically to this past life where you're in the dungeon and you're chained up. If you can't visualize it, then think about it or set the intention to do so. And let me know when you connected with your past life self.
Yeah.
Okay, how does your past life self, how does he know that you're there?
I can feel all my joints.
Okay. So what you're being guided to do is you're being given a key and you're going to go and unlock him out of the shackles. And let me know when you've done that.
Yeah.
Okay, what feelings are starting to arise in you in this moment?
Feeling lighter.
Yeah. Okay, together, I want you to start to remove all the negative energy. So start to remove all the feelings of neglect. Start to remove all the feelings. There's a lot of victim mentality there, the trauma. Start to remove all the feelings of sadness. Hunger is coming up. There's a lot of feelings around hunger. The resentfulness, Start to completely and permanently remove that now from both of your bodies. And there's a guard that's coming in, and you're to give that all back to the guard. That's his stuff. He's the person that locked you up. I'm picking up this huge pain here in the back of my right shoulder. It's like a stabbing pain almost. And so you're going to do this together with your guides. So we call in the most divine, sacred, and powerful healing guides to assist Jackie in removing all the negative energy, the negative vibrations, the negative emotions, the trauma from this past life moment, to completely and permanently remove it all now.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've removed that from your past life self, and he's removed it from you as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just scan and check that. Okay, so there's a lot coming up on your lower back that hasn't been removed. Around the throat area. So just double check that in again. And in between your legs for both of you.
Yeah.
How are you experiencing that?
I can feel the tightness in my lower back. And yeah, my throat's always strangling me.
Yeah.
Mm.
So while you're doing that, we want to completely and permanently scramble the exact point of origin when the feeling of neglect began for Jackie. We want to completely scramble that now from her unconscious, through all dimensions, all time and space, through all bodies. We want to completely and permanently neutralize the exact point of origin when the feelings of neglect began for Jackie, through all dimensions, through all time and space, through all bodies. Completely and permanently neutralize this now. And so now we want to completely and permanently transform all that has been scrambled and neutralized into I am a child of God and I'm loved unconditionally. So this is really beautiful. As I'm doing the commands, there's like it's just kind of layer after layer is starting to kind of come off you. So this is really beautiful. How you doing?
Yeah, good.
There's still a lot of heaviness around the heart, like a sinking feeling. So just as you're doing that, can you kind of talk about what's happening for you, or what you're feeling, or what's coming up in your mind?
The heart stuff has been coming up consistently for probably past 6 weeks or so. It was coming up for me just intuitively, and then I went and had kinesiology and it came up again. But yeah, I was having a huge panic attack over some of the stressful stuff that's been going on the past couple of weeks. And I did the Reiki to try and calm down the body, and it was all really jammed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I cleared that chakra, that it just disappeared. But obviously it keeps coming back up.
Yeah.
So Yeah. It's I've actually got some rose essential oil coming to help with that. But yeah.
What your guides are saying is that you don't have to try and fix it, but more about be with it and give it the
Yeah.
space. So it's like if you want to tell your partner something, sometimes you don't want him to fix it. You just want him to hear you, to hear what you say.
Yeah.
And then they're already like, oh, how can I fix this? Oh, can I drive to the local, what's it called? Hornbar? No, what is it called in Australia?
The what?
The supermarket with all the fixing things.
Oh, like Bunnings.
Bunnings, that's it. It's like, oh, I can go to Bunnings, I can do that. And like, you haven't even finished telling the story, but they're already fixing it. And this is what your heart's saying. I don't want you to fix me. I want you to hear me.
Yeah.
So just in the evening, place your hands on the heart and say, what is it you want me to know? And that's it. And then just give it like the space and the time to express itself to you.
Yeah. Like you were saying, be the observer.
Yeah. There's so much. It's like when we started, I had like here, but as we started doing the healing, it started coming all here, the pain, and under my breast and behind my breast, and it just was like more and more and more. So definitely, that's going to be your homework, to just be there with it. Like, just like if you were to visit somebody in the hospital and you're just going to be there with them, and that makes all the difference. I mean, if you're kind of not feeling well and somebody just sits there and is with you, it's like makes such a difference. I just want to scan you and your past life self again, make sure everything's been taken away that's no longer serving you. Okay, your guide said yes. So now we want to feel every single space and place with the highest vibration of unconditional love, cellular vitality, and Reiki energy and vibrancy. Okay, so just as that's happening, I ask that you take some nice, deep, slow breaths and allow the new energy to implement into your body. You can also imagine that it's coming up like a golden, they're also saying like the Saint Germain's ultraviolet, a lot of pearlescent energy that's coming up through your feet. So just kind of assist the process there. Anytime we take out any of the old energy, the stagnant energy, the blocked energy, we need to kind of refill that. Otherwise, I always say this to every single client: if you pull a big tree out in the garden, you don't do anything, you look out the window in 2 weeks, there's weeds, there's still a big hole in the ground. It's like this. We don't want to call in any more weeds. You've got enough weeds going on. So just allow that cold energy, that energy to come up through your body, through your hip area, really feel in the female reproductive area. You've got these beautiful healing guides. They're assisting you with this. And just allow that to feel all your cells, your sympathetic nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system, your bones, your lungs, your skin. We want to feel all the organs that have been working so hard. Your throat, there's a lot going on in your throat chakra. It's showing me like it's almost like grandpa's garage, where there's like, just if you go into grandpa's garage, he's like got everything there because he's kept that over all the years and years. That's what they're showing me in your throat area. So
it doesn't seem to matter how much clearing I do of my throat chakra. It just keeps
yeah, it's your jaw as well. Like your jaw, I don't know if you have like physical pain there, but the teeth and the jaw is quite
my doctor said that I've been grinding my teeth, because he looked at all of that as well. My latest doctor, he's very interesting. So
just let that kind of process in. And just check, I'm going to ask you a question, see what pops in. Take the pop. Ask your past life self if there is anything else that needs to be done and that a complete and permanent healing take place in this moment.
Nothing's coming up.
Okay. The first thing that came up was that he's like starving, so he wants some food. So we'll organize him a nice roast dinner. Okay. So if you feel like this past life, just check in with yourself. Being completely and permanently healed. Okay, they're just saying wait. Your guides are saying wait. So let me just check in. Give me a minute. So that's okay. Okay, they just want to tidy up some other energies there. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when you're ready, just take a breath in and then call you back and only you back. Yeah. Full of health and vitality. I had a filter created for you, so you want to pull yourself back through the filter. You don't want to bring any past life self stuff back. How are you feeling?
Lightheaded.
Yeah?
Yeah. And a bit hungry.
No coincidence. Okay. So just ground your energy. Just imagine like a beautiful waterfall coming in through your brain, through the amygdala, washing through, going down the throat, feeling your breasts, your arms, and then it's going all the way down you. We set the intention to completely and permanently ground the energy. It's going over your hips, over your knees, down your legs, and it's going through your feet, through to your star chakra, and then all the way into to Mother Earth, and that's just grounding you. Okay. So your homework from your guides is number one, to spend some time with your heart.
Yeah.
And just connecting with your heart and just giving it the space to speak. The second thing that your guides are asking you to do, they're saying meditate. I'm guessing you are meditating.
I haven't been, no, and they've been at me since February.
Yeah, okay. They're like, meditate. And I'm like, I'm sure she's meditating.
Yeah, well, I meditate a little bit, but not as much as I should be. And I've actually been clearing out my house so that I can set up a proper Zen meditation space so that I will meditate every day when I get up, because that's what I need.
This is you doing this again. We don't need anything to meditate. Literally, when your alarm goes off in the morning, sit up in your bed and do it.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing with the Reiki instead. I've been doing the Reiki first thing. But yeah, the mess, like my bedroom was a complete shambles and I just couldn't concentrate on anything while it was like that. and mess doesn't usually bother me. So yeah, it is cleared out and setting up an altar space. And funnily enough, I was gifted a beautiful candle, a Reiki candle that was channeled for me, and it's for the heart chakra.
Perfect.
I've been clearing the space so that I can set the intention when I do my altar that that's what it's for. So I haven't been able to light that yet because my space isn't ready yet.
Okay. Yeah, they're saying even if you just take like 3 minutes a day in between, just start small. And it's great that you're doing the space. It's always so good to have an altar and really practice there. But for you, and when you're doing the meditation, it's like grounding yourself the way that I showed you, and then when the energy is coming back up, doing your toroidal field, so it's going to come out like a fountain, and you're just going to let this beautiful golden light kind of run, and then you're going to start to draw in everything that you want to have in your life. So how would a healthy lifestyle look for you?
Going hiking for a start.
Yeah, so see you hiking, laughing, moving,
yoga, walking,
even going to the doctors and the doctor saying it's all gone. Why are you even here? There's nothing.
Yeah, that would be the ultimate.
Yeah, and maybe that's going to motivate you in some ways to meditate and don't give up, because I know when we start some things that we kind of want it, if we start one day, we kind of want it to have it the next day. But you also know that the energy is very heavy at the moment. We've got all the crap going on from the collective consciousness that you're dealing with. You're very, very much an empath, so you're taking that on as well. And so this meditation is really going to start to strengthen your toroidal field around that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you got my forgiveness workbook?
No, I don't.
Okay, so that's, you always get 3 homework assignments, sometimes 2, but my guides are adamant that you get 3, and these are three ones that you can easily incorporate into your day. So I have a forgiveness workbook. I'm going to send that to you, and just to kind of work through that in regards to the relationship with your ex, because this is very much about you taking your power back.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. The recent stuff that's happened has shown me that the power has shifted. So as much as it was stressful, it was really, really necessary. It's helped a lot with closure on that. I mean, obviously I'm still working through that because that only just happened, but yeah, I can see why that stressful situation came up this time, because otherwise I wouldn't have been shown that. So it's really, really important.
Yeah, it's not always easier, and it's not always an easy pill to swallow, but we're so responsible for what's going on in our life, and there's always a reason that we called that in. And even in my forgiveness workbook, I'm always like, do the blame game, like be the victim, but after that, take responsibility for your shit. So you do have a space to vent in the first paragraph. I think that's important. I don't want to sidestep any emotions or sadness or human shit, but then after, it's really our responsibility to say, okay, what's going on? Why is that happening for me?
That's when it came up this time. I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I've done so much work on this. Why is this coming up again? Why is it coming up again? And now I know why it came up this time, and it was a more healthful reason, thankfully. So hopefully between my homework and that situation sort of rectifying itself, I can work through it a bit better.
And you will see changes like you cannot believe. I've literally, and I've spoken about this on Instagram, not spoken with an ex for 12 years. I did the forgiveness process, and he called me the day later, like one day later. We hadn't spoken for 12 years. And we talk now. And then I like posted the forgiveness process, and he's on my emailing list, and I called him Little Johnny, and he sent me messages like, oh, hi, here's Little Johnny. I was like, oh my God, He said, I'm so sorry for everything. And I said, well, no forgiveness process for the whole world. So we kind of laughed about it, but that goes to show time and time again just how powerful energy is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, beautiful. Our time is up, and I want to thank you so much for your vulnerability, for sharing what's going on in your life, because sometimes it's when we share and we talk about our own struggles and challenges that really gives people permission to do the same. A lot of us suffer in silence. We think there's something wrong with us. We don't want people to know we're not the superwoman they always used to think we were, and it's through the vulnerability that we can start to heal. So I really appreciate it, because you have so much going on. Yeah.
There has definitely been a lot, but yeah, I tend to be a pretty open book about it, because I agree. Not just for healing energetically and that sort of thing, but it gives people permission to talk about their own stories.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's onwards and upwards for you, Frankie.
Yeah, touch wood. It feels like it. It feels like things have come to a close just this past week or two, which has been a really nice feeling.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to send you so much love and many blessings. And I ask that the healing continues over the next couple of weeks for you. And just start to tune in into your heart space and do the meditation, and I will send you the forgiveness process.
Okay, will do. Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
so
you
welcome. Much love.